Today is Tuesday, November 26th, and this is another update on my progress beating the S&P 500 along with Bill Ackman's Pershing Square holdings. I do make these videos every Tuesday and Sunday, so if you want to follow along, hit that subscribe button and let's get into it. Since my last update, I did increase 4 of my positions. I increased Apple by 25%, Meta by 15%, and then Nvidia and Amazon both by 10% apiece. Apple was one of my smaller positions in my portfolio, which is why I decided to increase it more than any of the others. Out of all of my current positions, I do believe that these 4 have the most room to run in the short term. Meta, Nvidia, and Amazon are some of my bigger positions, so I don't see myself adding any more to those, but I could add more to Apple, but I'm going to wait a little bit before doing anything like that. These are going to be all of my current positions, which right now I have 11. Right now, my top 5 are Amazon, Nvidia, Microsoft, Meta, and Costco, and those account for 49.97% of my portfolio. Right now, I have 86.33% invested, which means I have 13.67 sitting in cash. The plan right now is to stay above 10% in cash. So if I invested that 3.67%, it would either go into Shopify or Goldman Sachs. But I think it's going to be about a week before I do anything like that. This is what the VIX chart looks like right now. It still looks the same as before. The price is below the 5-day, which is also below the 15-day. One thing that has changed is the price has actually gone down below this support level, which it also did just about 2 weeks ago. And then immediately following that, it pretty much shot straight up to the top of the zone. So I wouldn't be surprised if over the next few days, the VIX price actually goes up, which will in turn mean a few red days for the markets. But going into December and for the rest of the year, I do think it's going to trade in this range still. So if the markets do see a few bad days in a row, I'll feel confident investing that 3.67% I mentioned earlier. The SPY chart also looks similar to how it did before. The price is above the 5-day, which is also above the 15. The price has popped up above this trend line, which I did think it was going to take a few more days to do. Like I said in the last update, I definitely don't think it's going to follow this trend line. It's going to follow this green one. So like I mentioned before, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a few days in a row in the red. As the VIX price goes higher, it's going to move the SPY price closer to this green trend line. If the SPY price dropped down quite a lot and ended up going below the 15, that would make me a lot more nervous than I am right now. But overall, everything definitely looks good heading into the end of the year. Since Monday, my portfolio had a gain of 1.25%. The S&P 500 saw a gain of 0.87, and Pershing Square had a gain of 0.55, which brings us year to date. My portfolio has a gain of 33%. The S&P 500 is at 26.96, and Pershing Square has a gain of 2.09. Thursday is Thanksgiving, and the market is a half a day on Friday. So my next update will be next Tuesday, and I'll catch you then.